Hello, my name is Benjamin Yudin. I am the new Director of Education and Principal of the school. And today, I'm here to introduce a little bit of the Kaballah class that will be starting quite soon. The word Kaballah means to receive, and it means to receive orally from master to student. The wisdom on the nature of man, the nature of the divine, and the nature of the universe. These words were not intended, or this wisdom was not intended to be written down. It was intended to be taught directly from a teacher. And this is why many of the early works in Kaballah are anonymous. For example, the most important work in Kaballah, the Zohar, which is the Book of Splendor, which is the inner meaning to the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. No one knows who the author of that book is. Not only do we not know who the author was, but there is no confirmation as to whether that book was written in the 16th century or in the 1st century. And this is the nature of mysticism. It is unknown. It is a great mystery, but it is also a great secret. In modern age, thanks to the internet, mysticism has come into the spotlight, so to speak, and you can learn a great deal from different sources online. With Kaballah, once again, we have to find someone who has not only studied Kaballah, but has attained a certain level of wisdom and being. And what do I mean by that? Man is twofold. He is of a physical nature and a spiritual or a divine nature. The physical body we inherit from our family, from our parents, and the divine, we inherit a God particle or a divine spark, as the Kabbalah says, when we are born. And the meaning and purpose to life, according to Kabbalah, is to transform this spark of the divine into a complete soul, into a complete neshama. And this is accomplished by walking the path towards God. It is beyond the boundaries of this presentation to talk about what is necessary and what exercises the Kabbalist does or the seeker does that is trying to attain this complete neshama. That will be covered in class. However, in Kaballah, they say that the most important book that we have is the Torah. And the Torah can be understood on many different levels. And there are 3 levels of understanding. And it's called water, stone, water, and wine. Stone is taking the Torah and literally believing in the literalcy, or the literalness of the Torah. That there was a Garden of Eden, that there was a snake that walked and talked, that there was an Adam and Eve. So that is the lowest level, the literal level. Water, the level of water, deals with the level of an inner meaning to the Torah. But that understanding of the inner meaning of the Torah can just make us smarter. We have to go to the level of wine. We have to understand that the inner meaning of water has to be fused with spiritual understanding. And it is through that spiritual understanding and living one's life from that spiritual understanding that one creates a neshama. I am pointing here because to the Kabbalah, this is the seat of that God particle. It is the seat of the soul. And again, by living our lives quite differently than the way we live them now, we will develop and create this beautiful neshama. So when the Bible says man was created in the image of God, they're not talking about the physical body. They are talking about this little spark of the divine that we were given. And to use that wisdom of that spark to create a neshama. Here is a brief example of what I am trying to say about the nature of man. We are born as a little baby right here. And as we grow, we get not only bigger in mass, but we get bigger in what is false within us. We get bigger with our vanity. We get bigger with our power, our desire to always have the last word, or my way or the highway. We become bigger with our attitudes, and we think our attitudes are the alpha and the omega of existence. And we fall in love with our thoughts, and we are in love with what we know intellectually. However, the Kaballah says, no, this is not the meaning to life. The meaning to life is actually to become smaller. And this is the smallest of the dolls. And this is a humble, almost invisible, spiritual self of God. And it is through trying to become this small that we become unified with the divine within us. So in many other traditions or religions, they talk about the God or the kingdom of heaven being within us. This is what they are referring to. This little spark that can grow. Unfortunately, we do not need to be taught how to eat or drink or to digest our food. We don't need to be taught how to think. But we need to be taught that this, the spark of the divine, is within us, and then we need to be taught how to attain this, how to create it, and make it greater. We are going to stop here. This was just an introduction to what Kaballah is about. And if you are interested in taking a course with me in Kaballah, please write to cbshalom.org and you will be able to register for the class online. I thank you for your attention, and I look forward to meeting each of you once we are able. Shalom.